This is where I wanted to be during that whole video that I just shot. I'm in the water, feet in the water. Here we go. Moving quickly through lulls in your business. How to identify when the ebb and flow cycle is turning over and how to approach this healthily. Seeing space within those lulls to refine and enhance your feelings of holistic wealth and clarity, and expanding your orbit to hit reset on life periodically, so shedding layers and soaking in new energy. So these are really profound ways of looking at the kind of these cycles that we have in life and in business and in nature, right? You know, we've got seasons in nature. They can be seen as ebb and flow. In our climate here in Minnesota, this place turns into a jungle in the summer, you guys. This is just the beginning. You know, we've got fire, we've got regrowth, we have death and rebirth, we have lulls, we have cycles, we have sine waves. So moving quickly through lulls in your business, it's not about rushing. It's about seeing how to make the most of the flow and how to make the most of the ebbs when the wind dies down, when the current slows down in our business. So identifying when the ebb and flow cycle is turning over and approaching this healthily. So the way that I experience in my business, and you may have similar experiences, is that inherently, since my business is an extension of myself, there are certain times where I'm like beating the streets, I'm making tons of sales, I'm really on point with reaching out to people and connecting, feeling very extroverted in the way that I'm showing up in the world. And then there are other times where, you know, I've made those sales and then I'm delivering. And maybe I'm not connecting with people quite as much as when I'm just like really feeling in the flow with, you know, talking with new people, doing site visits or doing discovery calls for mentorship, and really feeling amped up about, oh yeah, I'm really excited to work with these people. Let's explore this. So approaching these differences healthily, because, you know, if you're looking at things from that old mindset, that old paradigm of there's not enough to go around, there's not enough money, like if I spend money, it won't come back to me, which is complete bullshit. So let that go. Just let that right the F go out the window, because that's only going to hold you back. Any of that mindset stuff, you know, you can't just say, well, you can, you know, you can just say, okay, I'm done thinking that. But you have to understand why you're thinking it in the first place, which is one reason why having a mentor can be so helpful, because a huge part of this stuff is, yes, there's strategy, yes, there are hard business skills as a consultant, as a service provider, but there's also so much mindset around our inherent worth and our abilities, the interest that other people have in talking to us, why they'd even want to talk to us, how to be clear in communicating what we do and why we're even talking to somebody in the first place. There's a lot of that stuff going into our business, the mindset piece. But letting go of this scarcity piece is so huge, because there's so many aspects in our lives and that it applies to. But if we're in a lull in our business, if we hadn't made a sale for a couple weeks or more, if you were in that scarcity mindset and nourishing that mindset, it's like whichever wolf you feed, right? That's the one that's going to thrive and grow. If you're in that mindset, it's going to be easy to get lost in, oh, I'm not doing enough. I'm not good enough. You know, there's nobody in my area who wants to talk to me. There must be some reason. This must be something about me. I'm not a good business owner. You know, like all that crap. That's just going to further serve to expand that lull. So that's why I'm talking about moving quickly through lulls, is because they don't have a predetermined length. I think it's good to have them, because being a creative person, you know, having that expansion and contraction is really, really important, to have that extroverted and introverted time. It's a balance. So approaching this healthily is seeing the space within these lulls, within these slower times where you're maybe doing more delivery than selling, you're doing more education than outreach perhaps of yourself, refining and enhancing your feelings of holistic wealth and clarity in these times is crucial. So like I said, a lot of us experience this. It's easy to fall into that old paradigm thinking of, oh, well, my money's going to run out. It's getting into this place of lack, this place of need, and feeling that we don't have enough, that we aren't enough. And that keeps us it digs us deeper, and we actually fall out of the kind of pocket that we were in a very natural lull in the business, and we can fall into this deeper kind of quagmire, or this kind of stagnant area. There's a slightly stagnant area. So I was talking about this stagnant area of the water in the river, and if we're in a natural lull in our business, we could be just sitting on the edge of a big river that's got a ton of current, and it's just waiting for us to take care of some other background things in our life and enhance our clarity and our feelings of holistic wealth to move back into that flow. It's not a bad thing, it's a very good thing. And if we decide to give energy to those feelings of need, those feelings of not being enough, all those lack-based feelings that are within and without us, when our mindset is that way, we could fall, instead of just being on the edge of the river here with the beautiful aspen seeds floating on our surface, and we've got tons of seeds to carry downriver that'll become a beautiful pioneer forest someday. We could end up making ourselves fall out of that natural lull in the business and into this deeper place of like some kind of stagnant oxbow or swamp next to the river, and when we didn't need to be there. But it's all about mindset. And so I mentioned the mentorship piece before. It's so important to have people around you, people who are really committed to helping you with your business, who are really there, who are present, who are showing up regularly, not just some random person who you call when things get really bad. So that's a great reason why I'm here doing the one-to-one mentorship for you guys, and consulting and building out your service, is that it's really important to have that mindset support. Because if you don't, you can fall into these deeper lulls that result in stagnance, and can result in decisions made that aren't really serving your business. And so while it is totally possible to do it on your own, it's a hell of a lot easier with somebody who's been there, not only for the business strategy, the hard skills of those actual business skills of running a service business, but actually moving healthily through the natural cycles and the natural growth phases of being a business owner and continually evolving. So a big part of these lulls is that they give us space to take care of other crap, other beautiful experiences that we want to have. The crap being, I don't want to put any, negative connotation with things like, paying bills, or, just stuff that we didn't deal with, like the water heater needs to be replaced or whatnot. Things that we might not have attended to when we were in a big sales cycle, or when we were really busy with other things in the business. But attending to those things, going out with your significant other on a 3-day weekend when there's just like a little bit of a gap in between projects in your business, and giving yourself that inspiration to be able to make more sales when you come back, but just hitting reset on life. And by doing that, hitting reset, you can go out to places like this that expand your orbit, go to events that you haven't been to before where there are new people to meet, take care of yourself, introduce a new habit for your own self-care, your own personal care, your spiritual rituals, go plant a few more fruit trees in your orchard. Do the things that you've been thinking about doing when you're looking out the window on a day when you're working on a design, or a day when you have a bunch of sales calls, site visits. Those things that you long to do when you're doing other things, and really allow yourself to reinvigorate, recirculate that energy so that it comes back to you over and over again. Because these lulls, just like you're on the edge of the river, right? You're not separate from the flow. The lull is part of the flow, but not every part of the river is flowing at the same rate at the same time. And so what perspective, what view does this lull allow you to take? What other things does it allow you to do and to take care of that are going to allow you to flourish moving forward. For me, when I experience a lull, I'll clean out my refrigerator, I'll clean up my personal space, my music studio, my home office, and I'll just get that really sparkling, and so I just feel amazing, and it moves me back into a place of having the freedom and the space and the peace of mind to move back into reaching out to people and making more of these videos and doing fun, new, exciting things with my business, inviting friends to go on hikes or a swim. Just went on an amazing bike ride and swim and bonfire experience with a good friend of mine last night, just on a whim. And, you know, even after a big day of work, like just getting out and doing these things, there are lulls on different scales. It's all fractalized in our universal experience here of there are lulls within a day, within an hour, there are lulls within a decade. And so how are you showing up to be aware of those ebbs and flows? And how does your experience of life, how does your pace of life change? And how are you looking to each of those moments to be the most nourishing and fulfilling that it can be, and knowing that inherently you will be guided to those answers when you connect with nature, when you connect with spirit, when you connect with what really makes you feel like you, what makes you feel amazing, makes you feel effortlessly fresh and free, and able to just so easily deliver your gifts to the world, because that's the space you can always be living in. And there are ebbs and flows to that as well. But it's about being open to the fact that there isn't one way that you're going to feel for the rest of your life. There are different emotions that come up, etc. And those are all guiding us. That is the guidance to be following. So let me know in the comments below what you guys got out of this. I'd love to hear about it. If you'd like to set up a discovery call, you can hit the link below as well. We can talk about your business and paths forward to get where you want to go, get the results you're looking for. Have a beautiful week, guys. I will see you in the Epic Eco Designer Facebook group. Bye.